Good morning. Happy Saturday. Let's go to the grocery store. Doesn't that sound like loads of fun? Yeah, so Tommy, my grass guy, just showed up. You know my grass guy. No, I'm just kidding. Tommy, my lawn guy, just showed up at my door. And well, at first I thought it was a child because all I could see was a figure move past the window. And I told Kim there's probably about to be a child at my door. It was a child, but it was a 70-year-old child, or however old Tommy is. But I went barefooted to the door, and Penny was barking at him, and he said something like, "My, what tiny feet you have," or "My, what tiny feet," or something like that. And I said, "Yeah, Penny does have tiny feet." Anyway, we laughed and laughed, and then we moved on. And he said, "Well, I'm gonna do Joan's lawn first, and then I'll do yours." And I said, "Okay, I gotta go to the grocery store, so I'll pick up some money so I can pay you." And he said, "Okay." He said, "Are you jealous that I'm gonna do Joan first?" Yes. Ooh, car show. Ooh, they're having a car show at the church. I love when they have car shows at the church. I love old cars. If you don't know that about me, I love old cars. I mean, I love cars, period. I'm just a car girl, you know. I like fast cars. I like old cars. I mean, this is a car that gets me to and fro. But I don't really know what kind of car I would really want if I could have any car I want. I mean, but I like to look at them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't have my eyes set on something fancy because I just need a car to get me from to fro, wherever fro is. But I do like looking at them. I like that. Well, you know, the cars way back then, they all had personality. All the cars now look alike. You can't tell the difference between a Kia and a Hyundai and a Nissan and a Ford. I don't know. They all look alike. You just see the car and you can tell little minute details are different, but really, not much. So, you know, when you talk about the old Ford Fairlanes and the Chevy Impalas from back in the day, not the new Chevy Impalas, because they look just like my Kia Forte did. You know what I'm saying? But the old Mustangs, the old Camaros, you know, that's what I like. But I would probably decease it myself if I had a muscle car, because your girl likes to drive fast. You know, I don't anymore because I have matured a little. But, yeah, you get me on an open road in a muscle car, yeah, I'd probably either go to jail or become deceased. I know when Reba and I went out west, she rented the car and she only put her name on it, probably for good reason. And we went to Montana, and back then they didn't have a speed limit. I wanted to drive so bad because Reba was a slow driver, and I thought if you'd just let me drive, I could get us to Wyoming a lot faster. But she knew better than to let me drive. So anyway, I just sat over there in the passenger seat, tooling along real slow. But when we were climbing some mountain somewhere, you see that mountain over there? One of these days, I'm gonna climb that mountain. Anyway, as we were climbing this mountain, and we may have been in Wyoming at this point, I don't remember. It's all a blur. There were these tall poles on either side of the road, and they had markers on them. I was like, "What are those tall poles for?" And she said, "I don't know." So we stopped somewhere. Look, there's not a lot of places, or there wasn't then, a lot of places to stop. This was probably 1990, 8-ish. There was not a lot of places to stop. There were ranches on the highway for miles and miles and miles. And then this one little gas station out in the middle of nowhere. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, we asked what those poles were. And they said, well, that's when it snows a lot. Those markers tell you where the road is and also tell you how deep the snow is. No. I wouldn't be driving up on top of that mountain in all that snow. But anyway, me and Reba and I mean, I can speak proper English if I really want to, but I'd like to say that I speak a very relaxed Southern language or country. A lot of people might call it ignorant, but whatever. It's just very relaxed, you know. It's how you talk with your friends when you're not standing in front of an audience and trying to put on airs, you know. But anyway, we would roll down the road singing America the Beautiful and the Star-Spangled Banner. We sang it all. I really want to find the VHS tape of our trip out there and get it converted. I really need to find that, because I bet there are clips of us singing loudly on that VHS tape, because I was the controller of the gigantic camera, and I'd set that thing on my shoulder while we were rolling down the road, because, you know, we were on an interstate, and just there on the side of the road there would be these they called them white butts, wapatees, white butt deers or something, I don't know. Anyway, that's what somebody told us. And yeah, it was just crazy to think that these deers are just on the side of the highway. But to say it was a highway was kind of a stretch, because it was only 2 lanes going north and 2 lanes going south or east and west, whichever direction we were going. And then I got us lost because I was trying to follow this map. And look, sitting right here, I'm real good about telling you east and west and north and south. I'm real good at that because I know where I'm at. But you put me out in the middle of Colorado and all them mountains and ask me which way's north. If I can't find the sun, you know, like if it's an overcast day and I don't know where the sun is, I don't know. I know that sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And moss grows on the north side of the tree or something like that. But, yeah. So, I kept telling her we were going the right way, and we weren't going the right way. And she stopped and pulled over and looked at the map, and she said, well, we were driving back to Montana. Well, look, let me drive and you navigate then. Because I done told you I'm not good at this, okay? I'm not good at this stuff. I'm good at my maps at home because I know. I'm good at getting in a car with a map and heading to, say, Florida or something. You know, because I still know east from west and north from south most of the time. But not in the middle of Colorado in all them mountains. I don't know nothing about nothing. Okay? Anyway, I gotta go in the grocery store. You know, I'm going in with the mindset to buy healthier foods. I'll buy healthier foods. It's just, I gotta stay away from them unhealthy foods. I mean, I don't eat that many unhealthy foods, believe it or not. When you can't have gluten or dairy, it's kind of hard to be real bad in the grocery store. It's not like I'm buying cases of Little Debbie's, although if Little Debbie could come out with a gluten-free, dairy-free Christmas tree cake that tastes like the regular one, I'd probably be on that My 600-Pound Life or whatever it's called. Because me and my mama bought a box of them Little Debbie cakes, the Christmas tree cakes one time, in this very store, and we came to this very parking lot, and we ate every one of them out of that box. We was sick as a dog. But they're so good. So good. That was back in the days when I could eat whatever I wanted to. I also had a metabolism. A little bit of one. I've never really had much of a metabolism. You know. A Metabola-what? My dentist said I metabolize my medication too quickly. Why can't I metabolize my food quickly? Huh? Can you tell me that? That's rude. So he kept trying to give me shots to numb me, and I couldn't be numbed because he'd come back in there to pull the tooth and all the numbing would be gone. So I had to be put to sleep to pull a tooth. And look, I ain't nobody that's trying to prove nothing to nobody. My friend Kim, they tried to numb her to pull a tooth, and it wouldn't numb, and she told them just go ahead and pull it. I said, no ma'am. I ain't got nothing to prove like that. So, no, put me to sleep. I don't care. And the gas, I can't stay on the gas too long because it makes me sick to my stomach. So, yeah, they just put me to sleep. So, anyway, I've been talking for 11 minutes now about nothing. But y'all are pretty used to that, ain't you? But I'm going to go in the store here and get me some groceries. And I guess at this point, I'll let you go. I mean, I won't say my goodbye yet in case something funny happens that I have to tell y'all about. Okay, my eyes started watering for absolutely no reason. Why does it do that? Okay, bye. Well, nothing funny happened in the grocery store, so I'm just going to end the video here. I hope y'all have had a great day. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. We hope he's coming back soon because people be crazy, and I'll talk to you on the next one, okay? Doodles!